a video. Let me share my screen here. We're going to, so your work for this morning, you have some fill in the blank here, and you have some um, compare and contrast, and then some graphs. What you need to know is the difference between density dependent limiting factor and a density independent limiting factor. So these are, if you have an ecosystem, and I like to use the deer outside of our school, you have a population of deer. If there are too many deer and they start to die off because they eat all their food, it's going to be density dependent. If there's a natural disaster, if there's a forest fire, if people start hunting the deer, it would be density independent. It's not dependent on the density of the population of deer. So that's the difference between density dependent and density independent factors. It's just one's dependent on the actual population. If there's too many deer, you're going to they're going to die off because they eat all their resources. Somebody might get disease. They can transmit the disease more easily. Density has nothing to do with the number of deer. Their deer are being hunted. The deer, their environment. There's a problem with their. So for some reason, unrelated to their numbers, their population dies off. So these are just two different. This one's a little confusing. Number two, you have density dependent, so you have to go off of what I just said. It depends on their numbers. Density independent, unrelated to the numbers, and then the middle right here, both populations are being killed off. I just kind of gave it to you because it's a little confusing. And these other ones, number 4, you need to go look up Mount Vesuvius. What happened? It's really interesting. But if you don't know what that is referring to, it was something that happened in ancient times. And then like the moose, and that we've seen this graph before. So that is the lesson for today. I have an answer sheet for you where you can put, and I did the first 2 of these. You're going to have to kind of work your way through these fill in the blanks, but I gave you the first 2. So that's the lesson for today on carrying capacity, density dependent versus density independent factors.